Welcome to Worth It or Woke Entertainment News. HBO has officially announced its Harry Potter cast. The highly anticipated series, which J.K. Rowling is said to have significant oversight and has promised will strictly follow the source material, is set to star Jonathan Lithgow as Albus Dumbledore, Ozark's Janet McTeer as everyone's favorite animagus, Professor McGonagall, the unknown Paul Whitehouse as Argus Filch, another unknown Luke Thallon will be playing Professor Quirrell, Shaun of the Dead alum Nick Frost will be Rubeus Hagrid, and everyone's favorite hook-nosed, pasty-skinned potions master, Severus Snape, will be played by relative newcomer Papa Essi-Ā Do. And let me just say, I know what many of you are thinking, but the small minds that can't get past this non-traditional casting make me sick. Those whose personal bias has been poisoning social media with their vitriol and bigotry under the guise of adherence to the established canon, since the early rumors of this casting are the worst kinds of people. It's called acting. People who can suspend their disbelief enough to accept a show with hippogriffs and dragons, but can't wrap their heads around some creative casting make me sick. You're telling me that Christian Bale and Henry Cavill can play two of America's most iconic fictional heroes, but Jonathan Lithgow can't play Albus Dumbledore because he's from Rochester, New York? Get a grip and get a life. In other movie news, for those excited to see Marvel's first family on screen for their fourth time at bat, fifth if you count 1994's unreleased film, you might want to prepare for disappointment. Joining other Disney stars Anthony Mackie and Rachel Zegler as box office saboteurs, the Fantastic Four First Step stars Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn recently opened their big dumb mouths in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. British actress Vanessa Kirby, who many will recognize from her role in the last couple of Mission Impossible movies, plays Sue Storm. And she told the magazine that if you played an exact 60s Sue today, everyone would think she was a bit of a doormat. So, figuring out how to capture the essence of what she represented to each generation, where the gender politics were different and embody that today, was one of the greatest joys of this. When discussing the importance of her character's pregnancy, the proud, liberated woman went on to say that she made sure that Sue wasn't just the stereotype of a goody, sweet mother, because who wants that when we can have a modern woman with hairy armpits and a bad attitude? Yes, the actress continued, telling the outlet that her favorite Sue Storm comic book arc was the one in which she became Malice, who is the personification of all of Sue's darkest traits and desires. She was violent and greedy and dressed like a...
She was a hoa.
Yeah. You know, the perfect role model for modern women who can't seem to understand why no number of cats makes them happy, and the kind of broad that the core comic book movie audience demographic can't get enough of. Not to be out-stupided, Joseph Quinn, who put the gay in Emperor Gaeta in the disappointing Gladiator 2 and is now playing Johnny Storm, aka the Human Torch, parted his cloud of beta smug long enough to quip that, unlike Chris Evans' take on the character, he wouldn't be playing Johnny as a devil-may-care womanizer, but would be more in touch with his feelings and more empathetic to those around him.
Compared to you, that sunset's just... When is that darn thing gonna set?
I, for one, think this is a brave decision on his part to kick the patriarchy in the balls and completely change the core traits of the flirtatious character with an almost 70-year history and devoted fanbase. After all, it's not as though Evans' portrayal was the sole reason that his Fantastic Four movie got a sequel, or the cause of the loudest applause in last year's Deadpool and Wolverine. Brave, bold, dumb. In all fairness, we at Worth It or Woke believe in giving others the benefit of the doubt. Many actors have been huffing leftist bubble fumes for so long that they are now fictionally brain-dead. So it's very possible that these dueling twits are basing their responses on conversations had with the director about how to internalize a particular scene. And while the actor was thinking this dripping and infected nonsense during his or her respective performance, the finished product may be completely devoid of it.
Yeah, if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle.
Well said, Don. In other movie news, With its second weekend in the bag, the surprise cinematic juggernaut, a Minecraft movie, has officially grossed over $500 million. The objectively terrible movie starring Jack Black as a predictable man-child, moments away from screaming his way to his first stroke, shows no signs of slowing down despite multiple theaters canceling screenings and repeatedly having to call police thanks to wild packs of children causing mayhem. While some think that this behavior is great and representative of a healthy young populace just enjoying themselves, scientists have recently discovered that those people are retarded. It's not a showing of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, in which everyone knows and is specifically going in order to interact or to enjoy the interaction. There's such a thing as a social contract. Not everyone who pays to watch the movie was raised on a steady diet of YouTubers, irony understood, streaming strobe lights of dopamine to their brains. Instead, they pay to sit in relative quiet and enjoy the movie. The irony, of course, being that there's nothing enjoyable about this movie. For the 10 or 12 of you who aren't tired of seeing the overrated Pedro Pascal and everything from films to your nightmares, The Last of Us Season 2 released on this last Sunday. The first season was a relative hit despite featuring almost no zombies and spending far too much time catering to the creator's personal socio-political agenda. There have already been rumblings that Season 2 will significantly diverge from the source material by the midway point, and it seems like those who have seen it aren't entirely happy about the changes. You can read our review of the first season and of the first episode of this new season on Worth It or Woke right now. If you prefer to go in fresh, I'll only warn you that if you plan on playing a drinking game during on it, don't drink while Joel cries, or you may go blind. The King of Kings hit theaters on the 11th, and it's already breaking records. Until now, 1998's Prince of Egypt held the record for the biggest opening weekend for an animated biblical film, opening with $14.5 million. The Angel Studios hit, which features an all-star cast that includes Oscar Isaac, Kenneth Branagh, Uma Thurman, Pierce Brosnan, and many more, has grossed a tidy sum of $19 million for the Mormon-led outlet. Hollywood continues to prove that it hasn't had an original idea in 20 years, as it announces a series of upcoming reboots. The summers of 2026 and 2027 have a lot in store for us, as we're likely to be treated to a non-binary, minor-attracted sloth exploring G's sexuality while white Christian fundamentalists attempt to gentrify a ghetto in the recently announced Warner Brothers reboot of The Goonies. And be on the lookout for post-midnight MAGA hat-wearing rednecks trying to force-feed rye and mash down the throats of an all-female cast of Mogwai just trying to make it in a man's world, and the new reimagining of Gremlins. But wait, there's more! Buckle on your cardigan and let your Chardonnay breathe. The Taylor Swift The Eras Tour director Sam Wrench is taking a crack at modernizing the 90s Whitney Houston Kevin Costner smash hit The Bodyguard. No doubt it will feature the razor-sharp cheekbones of the diminutive Timothée Chalamet as a pocket-sized misogynistic protector who learns that women are perfectly capable of taking care of themselves. Finally, proving that paying for expensive divorces trumps artistic integrity, Tim Burton will once again dive into sandworm-infested waters of Beetlejuice with a newly announced sequel that is said to be in early development. We'd like to propose the title Beetlejuice Some Things Are Better Left Buried. Visitors to our website can look forward to our upcoming review of the Michael B. Jordan-led period piece zombie thriller Sinners, which comes out this Friday. Later this month, The Legend of Ochi, The Accountant 2 will also be featured on the website. Next month should be a big one for theaters as Thunderbolts hit screens as their relentless marketing has drilled into the heads of anyone paying attention. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning comes out on May 23rd. Early box office projections are tracking for a major new franchise record. Deadline Quorum has the upcoming sequel bringing in at least $100 million in its Memorial Day release weekend. The live-action cash grab of Lilo and Stitch also comes out on May 23rd, so we'll see how much that hurts the box office. Karate Kid Legends comes out the following week, starring the 71-year-old Jackie Chan, the 63-year-old Ralph Macchio. That's all we have right now. Be sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to visit worthitorwoke.com for our full review of The Last of Us, a most recent episode, and more. I'm James Carrick, reminding you that the Oscars suck, the critics are a joke. We'll let you know if it's worth it or woke.